days after stepping down as the Romanian head coach. Fell ill before a training session last week. He's been in hospital and sadly he has passed away today, and a minute's applause from the wider football community has just been observed here. Kicking off parallel to this is Barcelona against Atleti, all Spanish affair at the Camp Nou. We'll keep a close eye on that. Braga 1, Real Betis 1, an earlier result in the first leg of the Europa League. We're off and underway here. It's the all navy blue of Paris Saint-Germain. It's the all red of Liverpool. Nice to see a big game like this being played in the proper colours as well. So an early free kick for Paris Saint-Germain, who are defending the end away to our right. It's a throw-in, in fact, not a free kick. And Hakimi takes it back inside to Pacho. That instantly recognisable left wrist strapped up, and it's over to Hakimi, who bursts it against McAllister, who's sporting this new shaven haircut. Comes off of him and pings away for a goal kick to Paris Saint-Germain. So if you are just joining us, Paris Saint-Germain 4 changes from Friday night's win against Toulouse. Liverpool 2 changes only from the heavy defeats at Manchester City in the Cup at the weekend. Frimpong and McAllister in for Jones and Salah. Ball has got out of play on this near side. It's going to be a throw into Paris Saint-Germain. Germain-Liverpool chucks it back to Nuno Mendes, Portuguese. Former Sporting player, so his former club still in the competition. Lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal last night, so they've got it all to do in the second leg in North London. Liverpool need to make sure that they are still in with a sniff when they take it back to Anfield in a week's time. They came here last year, they won 1-0 with Harvey Elliott scoring with literally the last kick of the game, but it could have been 4 or 5-0 down. They were so dominant that night, Paris Saint-Germain, but just couldn't score. Alisson was inspirational, but he's not here tonight as the little playmaker Vitinha plays back to Makinos, who seems to have been here forever. 400 appearances, a record appearance maker for the club, and here is Hakimi, the right back, popping up on the left wing in towards Dembele. He tries to dummy it, but it doesn't fall Alexis McAllister, who clears, but only as far as Vitinha. Massive midfield battle in there. Vitinha and Zaire Emery and Neves against Gravenberg, Szoboszlai, McAllister. Liverpool have to be on the money today. Here's Kvaratskhelia, scored 2 here to dismantle Chelsea, and then proceeded to further take them apart in the second leg in West London. Rather like that Chelsea tie. The first leg is in Paris. Pretty much had it done at the halfway stage in that. I think it might be a little tighter tonight, depending of course on what Liverpool side turns up. Chelsea and Liverpool might progress through to the knockout stages in this competition, but the Premier League has been something of a letdown this year. No title surge. Champions League football is no guarantee for Anfield and Stamford Bridge next season. Here is the very talented 21-year-old João Neves, another Portuguese jigsaw piece in this fine Paris Saint-Germain side. Out wide to Dembele, who is for all intents and purposes basically the centre forward, but you won't find him up there very often. He'll do anything not to be up there. They don't really play with a number 9 unless Ramos plays. Here's Vitinha, ghosts towards the right-hand side, flicks it out to Hakimi, back to Makinos, the Brazilian, former Roma and Corinthians player. Back again to Vitinha. Vitinha rolling it forward, and it's Zaire Emery, busy midfielder, who's really come to the fore. And it's a big night for him, actually. He's a record breaker already. Zaire Emery becomes the youngest player to rack up 40 appearances in the Champions League. Still only 20. He's a brilliant player, and he'll be a big member of the France squad at this summer's World Cup as well. And here is Pacho, now brought out from the back by João Neves. They are keeping the ball at the moment, are Paris Saint-Germain. Liverpool happy to sink all 11 players into their own half behind the ball. But they are Such an inventive side, and here's Vitinha, goes forward, reverses it to the left-hand side. Kvaratskhelia can have a run at Frimpong, that's why he's there. Frimpong and Gomez can double up on the extreme talents of Doué or Kvaratskhelia, whoever goes down that left-hand side. Here is Zaire Emery, back to Vitinha again, back out wide to the right, and Achraf Hakimi. Kvaratskhelia has in fact gone to the right now, and Desiree Doué to the left. That's the first time that's happened tonight, just as I mentioned which one they might be picking up. There's Pacho in again to João Neves. They tick so much better when he's in the side. He had a spell on the sidelines through injury twice this season, and that has coincided with their worst 2 runs in League and Cup this season, Paris Saint-Germain, when he's not been around. Vitinha usually very steady with his passing. He's tried to flip it over the top for Kvaratskhelia. It's far too heavy and it goes out for a goal kick to Liverpool. 5 minutes played. PSG have had all the ball but haven't created anything so far. It's 0-0 at the Parc des Princes. We haven't seen anything of Ekitike. We haven't seen anything of Wirtz so far. Interesting match up these 2 sides, but Liverpool know they've got to be solid. They've got to come up with a performance equal and on par with the one that won here 1-0 last season. But even then, the job wouldn't even be half done, because Paris Saint-Germain are more than capable of travelling and winning. 6 previous meetings in Europe with both clubs winning 3-3. Never a draw between these two. There would have been last season had it not been for Harvey Elliott's late strike. It is a throw into Liverpool. There is a towel, a white towel on the side of the pitch. Joe Gomez picks it up and brushes the ball dry and then launches it in towards the near post. Ekitike gets the flick, but Dembele gets the first touch away. And Kirkesh goes all the way back to goalkeeper Georgi Mamadashvili, up against his fellow Georgian tonight, Kvaratskhelia, 2 Georgian internationals. Kinos, who might just lack a little bit of pace, but Pacho doesn't at the back. He manages to find Pacho on that occasion. Kinos, now it's out wide from Hakimi again. It's not the first time that he's gone from right back to left wing. Dembele in the centre circle. Hakimi once again, he manages to sidestep Kirkes. He gets it wide to Desiree Doué, fine young talent. Long ball forward down the right-hand side, and Hakimi will get there before it goes out. He's got time to get the cross in, but he doesn't shape up for a cross. Instead, he gives it to Dembele. It's great footwork from Desiree Doué, but Liverpool able to clear through Szoboszlai, only as far as Marquinhos, and now it's Kvaratskhelia. And now, after all the early possession, Paris Saint-Germain are moving in to try and create the first chance. Here's Dembele just outside the penalty area on the right-hand side, being watched carefully by McAllister. Holds it up, this Dembele, finds Desiree Doué, who in turn finds Vitinha. His long hair bouncing up and down on his head. He's a little bit like Michael McIntyre in that respect. Vitinha trying to reverse the ball through, but that could be watched by Miles Kirkesh behind for a goal kick. Barcelona 0, Atletico Madrid still 0-0. Did I say nil? Barcelona 0, Atletico Madrid 0 is what I meant to say. That's still the score at the Camp Nou. Desiree Doué's just lovely little bit of skill to get past McAllister a few moments ago inside the penalty area. McAllister nearly got him, you know, and had he had done so, that would have been a penalty. Just got to be careful in those situations, Liverpool. But they've got a goal kick here, which is going to be taken by Georgi Mamadashvili. Coming up to the 9-minute mark, Paris Saint-Germain 0, Liverpool 0. Lost just 1 of the last 10 against English opponents. Unbeaten in 7 with 5 wins and 2 draws in those 7. Paris Saint-Germain, they have been the dominant force when it's come to recent meetings with the English. Throw in will be taken by Nuno Mendes, deep inside his own half. Chucks it inside, it's a good throw as well. And it's helped forward by Neves to Dembele, and Dembele's off on a trot, and he gets it out to the far side, and it's Desiree Doué inside the penalty area. Really good defending by Dominic Szoboszlai. Got back, but they're still hunting down Paris Saint-Germain. It's back with McKenos and squared across to Nuno Mendes on the left-hand side. Midway inside the Liverpool half, finding Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery holds things up, waits, gives it to Vitinha, little midfield magician. And Desiré Doué, Vitinha again, Pacho. If there's a weakness in this Paris Saint-Germain side, it's got to be that the defence and the goalkeeper, perhaps not what you would class as to be anywhere near world class, but got to get at them first, and no one seems to be able to. They've done this season what they've done last season. It's hit form at the right time as winter turns to spring. So Paris Saint-Germain move through the gears. There's Vitinha trying to motor his way up to the halfway line. Gets it out wide to Mendes. Vitinha again. It makes its way through and off goes Desiré Doué back inside to Vitinha. Manages to control it. Get inside to Dembele. Dembele running into traffic. He's managed to evade two challenges. Gets it wide to Doué. He was inside the penalty area on the left-hand side. Goes for goal and scores! Desiré Doué was allowed to turn and Liverpool simply couldn't do that. And Desiré Doué scores for Paris Saint-Germain after 11 minutes. And it's a delightful move. Springing forward and biding their time. But when Doué got the moment, he swivelled and he arced it over the top of Mamardashvili. I'm not sure the goalkeeper done as well as perhaps he could have done, but it was spinning and swerving, and Doué goes to his knees and points to the sky and celebrates with the Paris Saint-Germain fans in the corner. It's Paris Saint-Germain 1, Liverpool 0, and it's Desiré Doué who scores for the 8th time this season. When he started the move, played it inside to Vitinha, then to Dembele. How on earth he got past both Liverpool challengers, I don't know, but then he's got the ball on the corner edge of the penalty area, comes back inside, arcs it over the top of the goalkeeper and into the net. It took a wicked deflection on its way, I think, off of the hill. It wasn't Van Dijk, it may have been Joe Gomez, but it's taken a wicked deflection off of someone and it's just dipped underneath the crossbar and in. Fabulous goal. Well, everyone's pointing the cameras at Virgil van Dijk on the monitor here, but I don't think it was Virgil van Dijk that got the touch. I'll tell you one thing's for sure, the shot was on target by Doué, so you've got to give the goal to Doué. 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain. That is not the start Liverpool would have wanted. Fabulous finish. The way it dipped underneath the bar, but he's got the ball inside the penalty area as Doué. He's on the corner edge, his back is to goal. Liverpool got a free kick here, by the way. Konate's been dragged down by Kvaratskhelia. He's got his back to goal, he's going nowhere. He's got three defenders between him and the goal. Really, he shouldn't have been afforded the room that he was afforded. We know how dangerous Doué is, but Liverpool didn't take heed. But they've got a free kick here in a central position. Szoboszlai, 5 goals in 8 Champions League appearances this season. He's going to take it. You're listening to audio commentary coverage. Paris Saint-Germain against Liverpool from the Parc des Princes. It's Szoboszlai that whips it in. One in the air by Van Dijk, then away by Pacho. He's now caught out of position, but it doesn't matter too much because Kvaratskhelia has slammed it up to the halfway line, trying to find Dembele. Kvaratskhelia again goes in, and it's been won by Doué, and Doué helps it on to Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery turns away from Szoboszlai. Turns it into no man's land as well. It's been won back by Florian Wirtz and out for a throw into Liverpool off of Kvaratskhelia, but that was so dangerous. If Liverpool were to take more than a 1-goal deficit back to Anfield, you wouldn't fancy their chances. Of course, we know what Liverpool and Anfield is all about, and the Kop and the atmosphere and the big midweek occasions. You never say never, but you wouldn't want to see Liverpool lose this one by more than one, realistically. Because this is a Paris Saint-Germain side that would quite happily go and defend a lead 2-0 or 3-0 and will pick you off when you least expect it. Wirtz has just fouled Mendes. Mendes has gone down. He's got a left boot of Wirtz into his shin pad. And he is okay. Mendes, fabulous player, Mendes. But you could probably go around this PSG side and say that about pretty much everyone. They're not a big squad. Pretty much everyone who's in the first team squad is here on the pitch or on the bench tonight, with the exception of Fabian Ruiz and Bradley Barcola. Barcola has picked up a knock and he's likely to be out for a week or two. 76% possession and 2 attempts at goal from Paris Saint-Germain. Nothing for Liverpool to go with their rather limp 24% so far of possession. And it's been free-flowing. The Paris Saint-Germain have asked the questions. And in many respects have solved the riddle by getting the early goal that they needed to give them an advantage. Liverpool can't sit back and say, well, 0-0, we'll take that. It's not going to happen. Here's Wirtz, found by Ekitike, carries it forward, gets it wide. Frimpong, can he get the cross in? No, well, he can, but it hits Nuno Mendes. Mendes is then beaten by Gravenberch, and it's been played out wide again. It's hung up by Frimpong. It'll come back out to McAllister on the edge of the penalty area. First time that Liverpool have put together anything resembling an attack. Here's Wirtz on the right-hand side. Twists inside. Frimpong, back to Wirtz again. But in the battle of the sevens, it's Germain-Liverpool-LIVE that gets there ahead of Wirtz and puts it out for a throw. Germain-Liverpool-LIVE, 15 goals this season from the Georgian, who arrived in January of last year, having helped Napoli to win the Italian title. It's by Patiña against Szoboszlai. Up in the air it goes to Hakimi on the corner edge of his own penalty area. Flicks it up in the air, turns his back, tries to control it, but Ekitike comes across and takes it off of him. He has to go wide out towards the corner flag. It pings off of a Paris Saint-Germain player. Well, I thought that was a throw-in to Liverpool, but it's gone the way of Paris Saint-Germain. It came off of McAllister last. Hakimi will take it. Camp Nou, the old Spanish affair. Barca and Atleti is still 0-0. Feeling that one is going to go to the wire, isn't it? Could be just one Spanish side left in the competition come the semi-finals. Real Madrid losing 2-1 to Bayern Munich at home last night has left them in serious problems going into the second leg next Wednesday. The Allianz push on Neves, so a free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. But they've got 3 players standing over the ball, went to take this free kick. You'd think it was 5 yards outside the area. Well, it is, but it's their own area. I can't understand why they've got 2 players standing over the ball as if they were having a strike on goal here. But Neves and Patiña are standing over it, and Spanish referee is being urged by PSG to force the Liverpool players further away. They're trying to put a press on, and it comes over to Mendes on the left-hand side. He fails to control. It's gone out for a Liverpool throw. So in a way, Liverpool got under the skin of Paris Saint-Germain there for the first time. This is better the last couple of minutes from an English side. Forced to throw in level with the edge of the penalty area. Across goes Joe Gomez to take. Joe Gomez never scored for Liverpool, 250 plus appearances for the club, never scored a senior goal for the club. I'm sure that goal will come one day. Here comes his long throw in towards the penalty area. It does travel a long, long way, and Van Dijk goes up and causes problems for Safonov, who does get a punch to it and puts it behind for a corner. It's a good routine that for Liverpool to force the game's first corner of the evening. It's going to be taken by Gravenberch. alarming. It's just how many Liverpool players 12 months ago were performing to their peak and just haven't done it this season. Here comes a whipped-in ball. It's a great ball as well. And Safanov came and he kept on coming and he punched and he did well. And here's Zaire-Emery. Gets away for the challenge of Konate, but then runs it out, which is a blessed relief for Liverpool because Konate was out of position and Zaire-Emery was making the run towards goal, but he came out there and clawed it away from the presence of two Liverpool players. The Bosley was in there, Kirkes was in there, Van Dijk was in there. The Russian got there first. Well, they've played a couple of balls in the last couple of minutes, Liverpool, into that Paris Saint-Germain box that have looked very, very dangerous. It's the first moment of positivity for Liverpool in this game, and they trail by a goal to nil up until the last couple of minutes. Very comfortable for Paris Saint-Germain, leading from that 11th minute goal from Desiree Doué. His 8th goal of the season. Mendes on the left, 25 yards from goal, wide left, being watched by Wirtz. Wirtz is playing on the right hand side at the moment. Looks like it's a Bosley and Wirtz and Frimpong are kind of between the three of them working that attacking midfield area. But here's Zaire-Emery, gets it wide to Kvaratskhelia. This is ominous for Liverpool. Kvaratskhelia cuts inside, it's Kvaratskhelia, it takes a deflection and it bobbles up in the air, and it was caught by Mamardashvili. And indeed the flag, I think, is up because the referee stopped play. But that was what Kvaratskhelia does so well. When he cuts down the left-hand side, he cuts inside. That is ominous because you can't let him do that. You just cannot let him do that, and Liverpool did that. 21 and a half minutes gone. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Liverpool 0. Liverpool just starting to show glimpses of capability with a few problematic balls into the box. Here's Ekitike, flicks it onto Wirtz. Good sliding challenge from Zaire-Emery. It goes all the way back to Safanov, who rolls it out to Mendes, knocks it against Frimpong and out for a throw-in to Paris Saint-Germain. And to the Rouge Bloc in the left-back position with Mendes. Well, it's, as you would expect, Paris Saint-Germain dominating. They've got that early goal after just 11 minutes, but Liverpool have come good, or better anyway, in the last 5 minutes or so. They've settled into the game at last. But Paris Saint-Germain are dangerous. Hakimi. These fullbacks just love getting forward. Here's Doué. He's a left winger and he suddenly pops up on the right, and Kvaratskhelia is on the left, and you can't mark them. As a fullback, you just don't know who you're going to be taking on next. But Ekitike has just been caught by Doué, so it will be a free kick to Liverpool. Liverpool will host Paris Saint-Germain next Tuesday, 6 days' time. Paris Saint-Germain have been given a reprieve this weekend. They were supposed to play their table-topping clash away at Lens. It's been cancelled. That will be played on the 13th of May. So they get a whole week off to prepare for that second leg. Liverpool have to play Fulham at home in a massive game of the Premier League for them if they are to reach the Champions League next season. They have to win that one, really. Here's Gravenberch trying to weave his way forward, but in doing so he gives the ball away, and Vitinha, a busy little bee, is like a buzzing insect trying to land the nectar for Paris Saint-Germain in that deep-lying midfield position. He's such a wizard with the ball at his feet, part of a very good Portugal side that will be going to the World Cup in the summer. Spain, Portugal, France. They're all going to be very good, aren't they? Here's Mendes, who will be part of that Portugal squad, to Kvaratskhelia, and he plays it to Dembele. Dembele is a midfielder at the moment. He won't go and play up front, you know. He'll play wherever it suits him. But he's the Ballon d'Or winner, he can do that. Here's Neves, then Makinos. Dembele into the feet of Hakimi and back to Dembele, who wriggles his way in towards the penalty area, but good tackling back there from Liverpool and their captain Van Dijk. Szoboszlai won the ball really well, but then given away by Ekitike very cheaply. This is Mendes, bursts forward, gives it to Hakimi, the right back again in the left wing position. Here's Hakimi once more, gives it to Kvaratskhelia. They can't afford to let him cut inside too often. Liverpool, in fact, they can't afford to let him cut inside at all. Here's Vitinha to Neves, and Marquinhos to Dembele. Marquinhos again, just shunts it to Dembele and back to Vitinha, back across to this excellent young talent Warren Zaïre-Emery, who will be a big hit in the World Cup, I'm sure, in the summer with France. He's a no-nonsense midfielder. He's great with the ball at his feet. He's slotted into this midfield position with Fabian Ruiz on a long-term injury layoff, and he's the first on the team sheet at the moment. Passes completed in this game, 163 from PSG, 44 from Liverpool. Liverpool have collectively run 29 kilometres to Paris Saint-Germain's 27. So, stoppage in play at the moment. There's an injury to Nuno Mendes. He's gone down, he's up on his feet, he wipes his face with his shirt. I think he's going to be okay, you know. But it's an opportunity for the players to take on some fluids. It's been hot in England and France today, up to 26 degrees here in Paris. It's been a scorcher. And inside this dome, it's a very humid night. It doesn't feel like April. Seeing the goal just now from a different angle on my monitor next to me here, and it deflected off of Gravenberch. I said it didn't come off of Van Dijk, it came off of Gravenberch. It might be a hot night, but still he's got his jacket on, Luis Enrique, down below. So, quick impromptu fluid intake from the two sets of players, and we're back out again for the restart. Paris Saint-Germain leading thanks to that 11th minute goal from Désiré Doué. It's been kicked straight out of play by PSG. 27 gone. Liverpool in possession. Konate, who is a Parisian, of course. Still nil in the other game as Liverpool come forward. A yellow card has been shown to Gomez. So Joe Gomez gets a yellow card for Liverpool. And I'd like to see that one again. He's gone in with Doué and he's gone sliding in. He's got a bit of the ball, but he's taken Doué out from the side. I think that's a little harsh at this juncture of the game. It's cleared away by Liverpool, by Paris Saint-Germain. We're looking dangerous. It was a good interception by Mendes. Slid it away. And from that, Doué picked the ball up. Won a free kick. Yes, free kick. Yes, a foul by Gomez, but I don't think that's worthy of a yellow. First caution of the game, and it's gone to a Liverpool defender. Not what they would have wanted. Joe Gomez up against the likes of Doué and Kvaratskhelia. He's used his yellow card up. And I have to say, I don't think that's worthy of a yellow personally. But Jose Maria Sanchez is one of the top officials in Europe and indeed the world. He will be at the World Cup. Felt there was enough in it for a yellow. Liverpool have it back. Gravenberch. It's played out to Kirkes. It's a chip forward up towards Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai trying to head it back to Wirtz. Helped on by Gravenberch. It's cleared away by Paris Saint-Germain. In as far as Van Dijk. Kirkes inside to McAllister. Back to goalkeeper Mamardashvili, but it's been cleared out to this near side and straight out for a throw. You have to say, Would Alisson have saved that goal from Desiree Doué, the wicked deflection? I don't know, he's just a bit bigger than Mamardashvili. Is 6'6" and he's just looped over him. I don't know, but I just think the performance of Alisson here last season, he stopped everything. I think he'd have stopped that, you know. It's hard to tell. He's out injured at the moment, and they're missing in Liverpool. Mamardashvili is a good goalkeeper. I don't think he's at the same level as Alisson. Here's Frimpong, dribbles his way into the penalty area, pulls it back. That's so calm from Warren Zaire-Emery. A lovely piece of skill, takes it and in one step drags it back, beats his man inside his own penalty area. Excuse me. Gets it wide to Desiree Doué, who's been brought down over on the far side, and that's another yellow card for Liverpool. McAllister brought down Doué. And Liverpool have just picked up 2 needless yellow cards for 2 fouls. And Desiree Doué, the first from Gomez, the second from McAllister. In the space of, 3 minutes, 4 minutes? Liverpool have picked up 2 yellows. Well, Liverpool have got to have their best 11 at their disposal if they are to do anything over 2 legs against Paris Saint-Germain. That lovely turn from Zaire-Emery was absolutely sold Szoboszlai down the river. And he's got to be able to do everything, Zaire-Emery. He's a terrific player. Coutinho standing over the ball. 31 minutes gone. He just readjusts his headband behind his ears. His hair's all sorted. Now ready for his right foot to swing. It's a free kick. He plays it short to Dembele. Back again to Coutinho. He then goes square to Hakimi. To Coutinho again, and they will bide their time. Doué, 2 to beat. One of them is Ekitike. Gets past Ekitike. Ekitike's done well, actually. Stood up and won it back. But here is Kvaratskhelia. Brilliant save by Mamardashvili. Well, one Georgian producing a save from another. It was a good hit from Kvaratskhelia and a good save down to his right, making a save, but a strong right hand. He pushed it away, and Liverpool were able to react quickest and clear away, but that could easily have been 2-0. Lovely strike from Kvaratskhelia, who was the chief instigator in the thrashing of Chelsea in the previous round. 5-2 here, 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. Second leg of this tie is next Tuesday. That's Anfield. And Liverpool would bite your hand off right now if they could take it back at 1-0. I'll be hoping they could do something a bit better than 1-0. Shown a little bit of promise and a little bit of positivity going forward. They've played a couple of really good balls into the box that have caused Paris Saint-Germain problems. I don't think they're the best defensively, Paris Saint-Germain, not by any stretch, but you've got to get at them. Zaire-Emery out wide to Kvaratskhelia for Paris Saint-Germain, just inside his own half on the right hand side. He heads inside through the centre circle, out towards the left. He's still got it. Wirtz is standing there, McAllister standing there. He finds Doué, lays it off to Mendes, back to João Neves. What a terrific talent. He finds Hakimi, who as a right back has spent more time as a left winger tonight. Here he is again. He just loves to get forward, the Moroccan. Coutinho. And Neves. Back to Makinos. And then Dembele, inch perfect ball down the line. It's been put behind. And that's going to be a free kick. Hakimi just shoving into the back of the Hungarian Milos Kerkez. And so a foul rather than the corner. Kvaratskhelia shot, it deflected off of McAllister's backside and it just took it further away from the goalkeeper, which just enhanced the quality of the save from Mamardashvili to keep out Kvaratskhelia. Good save. That could have been 2-0 and that would have been a real problem for Liverpool. A really big problem. Mo Salah is warming up for Liverpool. He's on the bench tonight. We've got to try and think about doing something that will give them the edge in the rest of this game to give them a chance at Anfield. They can't afford to concede anymore without scoring. Got to keep the margin to 1, really. Szoboszlai will chase. Safanov will clear. Finds Kvaratskhelia, returns Konate, who's holding on to his armpits, wrestles him to the ground. I think that was a free kick about 10 seconds before it happened. You could just see what was happening. He's got his arms around Kvaratskelia's armpits, and all Kvaratskelia's got to do is lean back and fall over, and he gets a free kick. That's the only thing he can do. So throw-in for Paris Saint-Germain, which is going to be taken by Nuno Mendes. Only 2 goals this season for Mendes. We talk about Mo Salah, the goals that he's got for Liverpool. He's only just got into double figures, hasn't he? Only 2 attempts on target from PSG, nothing for Liverpool. 72% possession still for Paris Saint-Germain. Not been many clear-cut chances in this game. Two efforts on goal were both severe deflections. One went in and one produced a good save. Liverpool have played a couple of balls into the box that Safanov has just about dealt with. I think that's where Arne Slot is going to find joy tonight, in delivery. Free kick to Liverpool. Szoboszlai to take. It's on the halfway line. It's high into the penalty area. Safanov will gather that one with extreme ease. 6'3". He's not quite as tall as Mamardashvili at the other end, but he was always going to catch that one first. Bowls it out to Hakimi. Then wide to Doué. Doué and Kvaratskhelia have swapped again. Well, if I had £1 for every time, or €1, if every time they've swapped already in this game, I'd be buying the next round. Here's Vitinha. Carries it forward. Waits for Wirtz to close in on him, and then Neves plays it long. It's a cracking ball, and it's Mendes into the box, and he plays it inside, and it's a great save by Mamardashvili to keep out the shot from Desiree Doué. He went to roll it in the corner, and Mamardashvili has just made his second successive good save. But here come Paris Saint-Germain again. It's pulled back by Doué once more. Zaire Emery to Vitinha, who gives it away uncharacteristically. Wirtz is bumped as he tries to clear his lines. Referee could have given a free kick, but he hasn't. It's play on. Here's Makinos. Then wide by Doué. Lovely touch from him. Zaire Emery flips it inside. Hakimi keeps it moving. Back to Doué again. Doué's got 3 red shirts around him on the corner edge of the penalty area. They're not going to give him the room that they gave him in a similar position for the only goal of the game so far. Here's João Neves. Still 0-0, Barca and Athletic. Neves again. Now Vitinha. Thought about the shot, and he ghosts it inside to Hakimi. Hakimi's touch was poor, but so too was the clearance from Kerkez, and it's Kvaratskhelia, and he bursts in from the right-hand side and lands a shot into the side netting. It was close. My goodness me, Kerkez got away with one there. You cannot clear so poorly. It was a bad ball by Hakimi. Played it straight to Kerkez, and Kerkez has just given it straight to Kvaratskhelia, but that chance just now saved by Mamardashvili. And if that goes in, second goal for Doué and a second goal for Paris Saint-Germain. It's big problems for Liverpool. Well, they've had the 3 big moments in the game, Paris Saint-Germain. And they lead by 1-0. It's a nice touch over on the far side, Joe Gomez. Frimpong. Frimpong's always playing as a right wing back at the moment. They've put Joe Gomez over to the... they've changed the system here, Liverpool. Konate and Gomez and Van Dijk are now the back 3, and they've gone with Kerkez and Frimpong as the 2 wing backs. They didn't start like that. They changed their formation. Here is Frimpong on the right-hand side, edge of the penalty area. Gets it wide to Konate. Back inside to Wirtz, chips it forward. This is Frimpong, and he hits it across the face of goal. And that was by far and away the biggest moment of the game so far for Liverpool. Wirtz with a little chip over the top, and it was quality as well. I'm not sure. Frimpong might just have been offside, and he volleys it right-footed across the face of goal and inches past the far post. Very close for Liverpool. Hit it early. Just beyond the right hand of Safanov. Just behind for a goal kick past his right-hand post. Doué. Winding Zaire Emery. Dembele. Just holding it up, Dembele on the far side, the Ballon d'Or winner. Vitinha. This is Pacho. And now Nuno Mendes. Well, they're a quality side, Paris Saint-Germain. Now they've got the lead. Whilst they've got the lead, they are so dangerous because they can sit back, absorb and then punish you in the blink of an eye. Here's Mendes, but he's been dispossessed by Konate, who's done well. Gets it wide to Wirtz. Early ball into the box was a poor one, but he'll get a second chance. That has also been blocked by Pacho, and it goes out for a throw into Liverpool when it could have been a whole lot worse for Paris Saint-Germain. Given away rather cheaply there by Nuno Mendes. Dispossessed by Konate. He had two swipes to get the ball in there, Wirtz, and he couldn't get either of them in. Good defending on both occasions from Will Pacho, the Ecuador international. Pacho, formerly of Frankfurt, but he wouldn't have been at Frankfurt at the same time as Hugo Ekitike. He would have been here at Paris Saint-Germain at the same time as Hugo Ekitike. So Desiree Doué's goal after 11 minutes, still the difference between the two sides. But that shot just now from Frimpong across the face of goal was Liverpool's first big chance of the game. Kvaratskhelia has made two excellent stops to keep out Kvaratskhelia and Doué. Here's Vitinha, lofts it to Kvaratskhelia back inside, and this is a chance for Doué, and this is Dembele, and he's put it straight at the goalkeeper. Well, if they had their shooting boots on tonight, Paris Saint-Germain, they could have been 3 or 4-0 up. And Dembele has got a clean sight of goal with a goalkeeper to beat, and you would have thought that at the very least there he would have made the goalkeeper work, but he's rolled it like a back pass at him. Now it's Neves, rides a couple of tackles, gets it wide. It's Dembele with a cross, it's headed away. Liverpool picking up the second ball through Kirkes, and then McAllister up to Ekitike. Nice touch back into Kirkes, and then back out wide by Szoboszlai to Frimpong over the halfway line for Liverpool. Much better from Liverpool, trying to keep possession. Remember that 27-28% possession that they've had in this game. They've just been outdriven by Paris Saint-Germain. Clearance against Gravenberch from Pacho, wins the throw-in earlier on today. Braga won, Real Betis won. Portugal against Spain there in the Europa League quarter-final. Betis, of course, losing to Chelsea in the final of the Conference League last season. Well, welcome back. You're listening to audio commentary coverage from the Parc des Princes. It's Champions League quarter-final first leg action tonight. At half-time, Paris Saint-Germain leading Liverpool by 1-0, which is a score in the Nou Camp, or the Camp Nou. It's the all-Spanish affair. Atletico Madrid a goal to the good, and Barcelona down to 10 men after Kabasi sent off in that game. But we're concentrating on this one. Desiree Doué's 11th minute goal. Liverpool can consider themselves slightly fortunate to only be the one goal down. It's a couple of good saves from Mamardashvili, and Ousmane Dembele shooting straight at him as well when he should have scored. So we've seen a shot from João Neves go wide. We're off and underway in the second half. It's a goal kick to Liverpool, who are in all red tonight. Paris Saint-Germain in their usual all navy blue. And they are, Paris Saint-Germain, kicking towards the end away to our right. It's a little flick on by Szoboszlai. It's Marquinhos heads it away to the right-hand side, and Kirkes gets there ahead of Hakimi and puts it out for a throw-in. Nearly a minute played in the second half. So quickly go through the two teams for you. No changes so far for either side from the start of the first half, in fact, let alone the half-time. Matej Safanov in goal for Paris Saint-Germain. It's Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho and Mendes at the back. Zaire-Emery, Coutinho and Neves in midfield. Doué, Kvaratskhelia and Dembele. For Liverpool, they are on the attack at the moment. We'll just see this through. Marquinhos gets there ahead of Ekitike, and it's cleared away by Pacho for a Liverpool throw. Quickly go through their team. Mamardashvili in goal, Konate, Van Dijk and Gomez back three. It's been changed from their 4-4-2 that they started with, 4-5-1 rather. Frimpong and Kirkes are the two wing backs. Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai in midfield, Wirtz and Ekitike up top. This is going to be a long throw from Gomez, in from the edge of the penalty area. Up it goes, and on by Konate, punched away by Safanov, back in by Szoboszlai, and away by Marquinhos. Szoboszlai again has to tuck it back to Frimpong. He's the last man standing, and Kvaratskhelia is on the sprint. Goes back to goalkeeper Mamardashvili in bright yellow tonight, lifts it up to the halfway line. Van Dijk is still up there, flicks it on, and berates Ekitike for not running into the channel after his flick on, but it wasn't a particularly good flick on by Virgil van Dijk. I think that was a little ambitious from him. And Paris Saint-Germain could come away with Nuno Mendes, the Portuguese left back, on the far side. His excellent record recently against English clubs, 1 loss in 10, unbeaten in 7 against the English. Paris Saint-Germain, the holders. Liverpool playing in their first quarter-final in 4 years. And this is as far as they'll go, unless they can turn this tie around. Realistically, a goalless half would probably be enough for them, or a goal if they could get one. Here is Wirtz, and then back outside by Szoboszlai. This is Ekitike, opens up his body and tries to curl it, but it was just a little bit too far away from his body, the ball, and he was stretching slightly, and whilst he was curling it towards the top corner, it was just that little bit too high and that little bit too wide, but it was a chance. Bleach blonde hair of Ekitike. It's growing out though. Bleach his roots to it. He's got that bleach blonde hair, and there's a little bit of the back that's black. It looks almost like a bald spot. I think he just needs to get the roots done. Anyway, here come Liverpool. Gravenberch. He's done well, driven forward. Finds Wirtz, who pirouettes and plays it inside to Ekitike. Midway inside Paris Saint-Germain's half, wide on the Liverpool right. It's Frimpong. Back to Konate. All the way back to goalkeeper Mamardashvili, Georgian international. He's played 35 times for Georgia, which is 5 times less than his compatriot on the other side, Kvaratskhelia. Onto the chest of Szoboszlai. Can't turn though. Batinha just whips in. Ekitike tries to chase down. Makinos gets there first. Pacho, and now Mendes can trot gently up towards the halfway line. Stops it dead on the halfway line. Gives it to Doué. Back again to Mendes. Such a fine unit, Paris Saint-Germain. Got to be one of the favourites. Bayern Munich, Arsenal. Well, it could be Atletico Madrid. So we'll wait and see. It's with Makinos at the back. We've hit the 5-minute mark in the first half. It remains 70% possession for Paris Saint-Germain. 8 attempts on goal to Liverpool's 1. 4 shots on target to Liverpool's none. Come Paris Saint-Germain down the right-hand side. It's a good ball by Kvaratskhelia to Zaire Emery. Down to Hakimi. Back to Dembele. It's a little bit too compact and McAllister takes it off of him. Remains 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain. We are looking at a dominant performance from Paris Saint-Germain. If they get a second goal, it's they that will be in complete control of this game. And they're keeping the ball at the moment. João Neves. Wirtz though for Liverpool, up to Ekitike. Those two need to get closer together. Wirtz again. Diverts away from Kvaratskhelia. It's headed forward by Gravenberch. Easy for Pacho. Just knocks it sideways to Batinha. The winners of this game will play the winners of Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. So that dream of the PSG Bayern Munich final is not going to happen. I think Arsenal stand a very good chance. They could beat Sporting. They could well play Atletico Madrid, who are leading tonight against the 10 men of Barca. Still a lot of football to be played. Kirkis can't stop Hakimi into the penalty area. Hakimi, good challenge from Joe Gomez to put it behind for a corner. Well, made light work of Kirkis there, did Hakimi, wrestling his way to the byline, tried to put it back. Good play by Joe Gomez. Corner to Paris Saint-Germain. Is this their first corner of the game? I think it might be. It's played short to Dembele, to the edge of the box, and it just sat up for Hakimi. And he has thrust that one high over the top of the crossbar. So a goal kick to Liverpool. We still trail here by 1-0. Long way to go in this tie, but if Liverpool were to concede a second, it would be a real blow to them. Here comes Kvaratskhelia into the box. It's Mendes, it's Dembele, and he went for power and he's put it over the bar. Oh really, Paris Saint-Germain could have buried Liverpool in this tie already. And Dembele really should be scoring that. It's pulled back, it's literally on the penalty spot. He's got a clean swipe at goal and he's hooked it over the top of the crossbar. He's tried to take the net off. If he just rolls it, it's 2-0. This season's final is going to be in Hungary, the Puskás Arena. Perhaps incentive for two Hungarians in the Liverpool side, Kirkes and Szoboszlai. Played 54 minutes, 9 minutes into the second half. Konate, long ball over the top. Ekitike trying to get goal side. The goalkeeper came out decisive, but it's come back in again. Pacho heads it away with Ekitike sniffing. And the flag is up on the far side, but that was a nervous moment. Excuse me. Yeah, that was a nervous moment. As the goalkeeper came racing off his line and it was looking dangerous. Ekitike was getting goal side of Pacho. Pacho got back and it headed it away, but flag was up against Ekitike in the end. But my goodness, mate, that could have been a chance. If Liverpool can squeeze a goal out of this game from nowhere, they're right back in it. But really, they could be dead and buried. Here's Hakimi. Nice touch. Vitinha, just too far ahead of Hakimi this time. And Van Dijk wins it, gives it to Szoboszlai, weaves between Neves and Hakimi. And Hakimi takes it straight off of him and heads up towards the halfway line and beyond. Gets it out wide to Kvaratskhelia, helps it forward to Dembele down the left-hand side, but across goes Van Dijk and watches that one trickle away for a goal kick. 10 minutes into the second half. Desiree Doué's goal remains the slender difference between these two, but it's not been a slender difference really when the whole 55 minutes are put into context. Doué could have made it 2. Ousmane Dembele twice should have made it 2. Kvaratskhelia was denied by his compatriot. Here's Ekitike, who's looked a menace. There's Ekitike. Back hill, finding Wirtz. Wirtz into the penalty area, pulls it back. This is McAllister. Drifting out wide to the far side, Frimpong brings it down neatly. Can he get the cross in? Came off of Dembele. Clawed away by Safanov, back into the penalty area again. Szoboszlai helps it down the line. He ends up chasing after it himself, volleys it in as a cross straight into the arms of Safanov. Well, he's punched a few things tonight, Safanov, and he's got to everything he needed to. There have been fine margins, you feel, that have just erred on his side. There's Vitinha wrestling with Frimpong. He gets a free kick eventually from the Spanish referee. I think if Paris Saint-Germain go through and play, well, it doesn't matter if it's Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, it's going to be quite some semi-final. Can't wait for that one. 57 minutes. Paris Saint-Germain still only 1 goal, and I said still, it could have been 5 or 6. There's Mykonos. Mykonos back to Safanov. Gets him underneath his feet and drives a clearance up to the halfway line. It was won by Gomez when really Kirkes was better equipped to head it away. Instead, Gomez has put it out for a throw-in to PSG. It's been taken. Hakimi rolls it back to Mykonos and across to Pacho. Liverpool will be happy whilst the scoreline is 1-0. It's still 1-0 in the other game. Atletico Madrid winning 1-0 at the Camp Nou. Dembele blocked by Gomez, who careers forward here. Joe Gomez, a run towards the box, plays it out wide to Ekitike, slips in between 2. Gomez again, Ekitike cut inside and gives it to Gravenberg. Gravenberg turns back the way where the play came. That's the left-hand side. Now Kirkes takes the pass off of McAllister. Gomez once more. McAllister keeping it moving. Gets it back from Van Dijk. Into Szoboszlai, back to McAllister, driving into the penalty area. And he's been brought down on the edge of the penalty area, but no foul, says the referee, Jose Maria Sanchez. And McAllister's livid. Having a little look, he went between 2, but I think he got a nick there. Oh no, that's a foul. That's definitely not the right decision for the referee. That should have been a free kick to Liverpool. He was brought down fair and square. That's a free kick, and McAllister has every right to be aggrieved. Here he goes again, McAllister. Thought about the shot, got it out wide to Frimpong. Frimpong pulls it back. Verse, it's McAllister, drives it against Pacho with a ferocious shot, and suddenly Paris Saint-Germain can break away. Kvaratskhelia to Dembele on the left-hand side. Dembele cuts inside. Still Dembele. It's been brushed aside by Konate. That is not a foul either. And Konate has continued his run forward and plays it to Ekitike. Ekitike tries to make it through into the edge of the penalty area, but João Neves can get it away to Vitinha, and suddenly this game has livened up. Foul on Vitinha by Konate. Free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. Drilled shot from McAllister hit the elbow of Pacho. The VAR were just double checking there. There was no penalty, but nothing's been given. Tell you what, that was going in. He needed to get in the way of that. Coutinho to McInnes. Coming up to the hour mark. Still the game very much alive, but Paris Saint-Germain will be kicking themselves that they have not been ruthless in front of goal tonight. They've had a lucky deflection for the goal. And they've also been denied by a couple of really good Mamardashvili saves. Zare Emery to Desiree Doué. Now it's Vitinha trotting forward up towards the halfway line. 93% accuracy of their passing, and they've got 412 passes and counting. Only 150 passes for Liverpool, and they've only got an 80% accuracy with their passing. That's how good Paris Saint-Germain are with the ball. João Neves. Perhaps it's an indication of just where Liverpool dropped off. They won this game last year here 1-0, and they were very lucky to do so. They're very lucky to be 1-0 down tonight. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Zaire Emery gets it back for Mendes. Vitinha and Hakimi. Vitinha again, just beyond the halfway line. Gets it wide to Mendes. Everything going through Vitinha at the moment. To Kvaratskhelia, returns and finds himself in a little bit of space. Hakimi gets it wide to Dembele. His first touch wasn't particularly good, so he gets it wide to Doué. Doué's got two red shirts in front of him. Kirkes being one, McAllister being the other. This is McInnes. Vitinha finding the feet of João Neves. Back to Vitinha again. Nicely done to find Doué. Vitinha once more. Switches it to the right. And Hakimi steps forward. Doué to Hakimi. He's into the penalty area on the right-hand side. Another good challenge from Joe Gomez to deny the cross. And it's gone behind for another Paris Saint-Germain corner. They bided their time there, Paris Saint-Germain, and then suddenly, bang, an insidious pass from Dembele to release Hakimi. Good defending by Gomez. 62 gone. Paris Saint-Germain leading by a goal to nil. Doué with the corner. It's flicked on, it's flicked away. Here's Hakimi to Vitinha. Now it's with the full-back Nuno Mendes. Vitinha again for Paris Saint-Germain. Loads of time and space to weigh up his options. He's going to drive forward down the left-hand side. Still got it as Vitinha. Quite frankly, he could keep it all day if he wanted to. Such a great player. Mendes. This is Vitinha again. Inside to Neves. Nicely back to Pacho and across to the captain, 21-year-old McInnes. He's just 5 caps away from the century for Brazil. He'll be going to the World Cup. Pacho. Here's McInnes again. Wide to Kvaratskhelia. McInnes once more. They've dominated this game of Paris Saint-Germain, and yet I don't think they've been at their best. Said that if they'd have taken every chance that had come their way, we'd probably be purring at the performance, as they would have put Liverpool out of this tie already with still the second leg to go. They've had some mission impossibles, Liverpool. So 1-0 deficit going into the second leg wouldn't be seen as a disaster by any means. Paris Saint-Germain don't play at the weekend, Liverpool do, at home to Fulham, and it's a massive game in the Premier League for them. They have to win. They can't go easy on that one. Liverpool against Fulham, and Fulham still with a place in Europe up for grabs themselves. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Back out wide to Neves. Back to Vitinha. Now across to the right to McInnes. Midway inside Liverpool half. Wide to Hakimi. It's Hakimi against Kirkes. It's with McInnes again. Vitinha. It's a good play this from Paris Saint-Germain to keep the ball, and suddenly they'll go bang and they'll find a chance out of nowhere. Doué to Pacho, and now back out wide again from Dembele to Hakimi, back to Dembele, corner edge of the penalty area, into Doué trying to turn, holds it up really well, and flicks it wide to Hakimi to Doué once more, Doué finding Zaire-Emery, Kinos, this is Vitinha. Not long now before I suspect we might see one or two changes. Will we see Alexander Isak or Mo Salah or Cody Gakpo? They've got firepower on the bench, Liverpool, but they're in trouble here. This is Kvaratskhelia. He's through on goal. He rounds the goalkeeper and he makes it 2-0. Great finish that from Kvaratskhelia. And the Georgian has just given Paris Saint-Germain a big boost in the first leg of this quarter-final tie. He wriggles his way into the penalty area, but that's when he takes total control without actually touching the ball. A little swivel of the hips takes him past two players unceremoniously. He just bides his time. The goalkeeper commits himself and takes himself out of the equation. Does Mamardashvili, and Kvaratskhelia says thank you very much, picks his spot in the corner and rolls it past two defenders to make it Paris Saint-Germain 2, Liverpool 0, and Liverpool now do have it all to do. Well, it was Kvaratskhelia that started it in his own half. It's played forward by Vitinha, back to Kvaratskhelia, rides past the goalkeeper and just walks it into the net. It's a great ball. It was Neves, in fact, that played the ball into the box. Brilliant pass, but he gets past Gravenberch so easily. He just brushes him aside, and then the goalkeeper comes out and he just takes it around him as he's going to gather it. Mamardashvili. Kvaratskhelia says thank you very much and just rolls it into the empty net. And Liverpool have been undone, and it's no more than Paris Saint-Germain deserve, I have to say. They are 2-0 up and Liverpool have got it all to do here. Well, they can't afford. 2-0 is a massive hill to climb. It's not unsurmountable on a big night at Anfield, 2-0, but anything more than that you just can't see Paris Saint-Germain letting up a 3-goal disadvantage. Sorry, advantage, I beg your pardon. They were 5-2 up against Chelsea going to Stamford Bridge, and just picked them off when they wanted to, and you feel that they could do that with Liverpool. The bigger advantage they've got, the more likely they are to do that. Here is Wirtz. It needs a moment of magic for Liverpool. They have to score the next goal in this game if there are any more goals rather. It's a mistake by Mendes, but he still gets there ahead of Szoboszlai. Plays it inside to Vitinha, back again to Mendes, takes a touch, rolls it up to Dembele. Nice first time ball inside to Vitinha, who splits open the Liverpool defence, but it's got too much weight on it for Desiree Doué. If that was the right weight, that would have been quite a devastating breakaway from Paris Saint-Germain. We are at the halfway stage of this second half, and it's Paris Saint-Germain 2, Liverpool 0. The two wide men, Doué and Kvaratskhelia, have been the two goal scorers. And really, if Liverpool were 5-0 down at this moment in time, they couldn't complain too much. It's been a very good night for Paris Saint-Germain so far. They have what you would feel is an unassailable lead. Rafael Pol, the assistant manager of Paris Saint-Germain, is out there with Luis Enrique, contemplating changes. Remember, they haven't got a game at the weekend. Liverpool have. Here's Kirkes with the cross, left by Safonov. Mendes will get there ahead of Ekitike. Manages to clear down the line to Kvaratskhelia, who's wrestling with Konate. Konate hangs on to Kvaratskhelia again. He's done that 3 or 4 times in this game, where he's wrapped his arms around Kvaratskhelia. It's only going to be a matter of time before the referee does eventually take action. Well, Kvaratskelia's goal, he's just walked through the Liverpool defence. I mean, Gravenberch needs to be better. I don't quite know what Konate was doing. He was running in the opposite direction as the ball was threading through. He seemed to lose his bearings. Just haven't asked enough questions of this PSG defence. I think if there is a weakness in PSG, it's their defence. Maybe a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich might expose that more in the semi-final, assuming of course that Liverpool can't come back. But it is 2-0. 2-0 is not a scoreline that makes Paris Saint-Germain automatic semi-finalists, not by any means. If they got a third or even a fourth, then maybe they're as good as through. So it's a big 20 minutes for Liverpool just to make sure that they don't let this get any worse. Pacho reverses it up to the halfway line. Nice pass, Kvaratskhelia into Dembele. First time passing for Dembele is out of this world. It's Zaire Emery, gets it wide, they're pouring forward. Doué to the edge of the box, plays it through. It should be Zaire Emery. It's brought down from behind, and that is a penalty. A penalty to Paris Saint-Germain and a yellow card. And he was ready to pull the trigger and make it 3-0. And Paris Saint-Germain denied by the challenge. And Liverpool's evening is just about to get a whole lot worse, you fear. Because Paris Saint-Germain get a penalty, and Konate, who brought down Zaire Emery, is shown a yellow card. Well, he should have been shown a yellow card before that for the multiple chimes in which he's wrapped his arms around Kvaratskhelia tonight. But he is now shown a yellow. It's Konate. And Liverpool's evening is gradually spiralling out of control. I don't exaggerate in saying that Paris Saint-Germain could have had a lot more. Well, he's gone sliding in as Konate, and the VAR have asked the referee to come across and run his eye over this. So he's a penalty check at the moment. The referee is Jose Maria Sanchez from Spain. VAR is Carlos del Cherogrand. And, well, slowed down. He's got the ball. He's just about to shoot. His balance is lost by the side challenge from behind by Konate. It's from behind. So, you know, if you're going to take the challenge from behind into consideration, it's a great challenge actually by Konate. What's he going to give? Out comes the referee. I've got a feeling he's going to overturn this, you know. He is. He's going to overturn it. No penalty. He's given Konate the benefit of the doubt. And I thought the challenge from behind was banned, but obviously not. However, that was a good challenge. And Konate, who should have had a yellow card before now, and just got one, has now had it rescinded. He'll probably get it back again in a minute. It was a really good challenge. And when it's slowed down, does he get Zaire Emery before he gets the ball? Yes. He knocks his shin, and that's what takes him down. I'm not so sure. I think there's probably enough in it for a penalty, but here come Liverpool. Is that the boost they needed? It's Kerkez, pulls it back. This is Wirtz. Can he get the shot in? He can. It's blocked by Makinos, and he makes it look so easy the way in which he got it wide to Kvaratskhelia. He's been held again. And he looks at the referee and says, how many more times? This time it's Frimpong. Free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. Well, Liverpool lucky to get away with that one, really, with the penalty. It's a spot of cramp down there at the moment for Kerkez. Arne Slot is contemplating some changes here. There's cramp for Kerkez. You might think that Andy Robertson might come on. Kerkez is back on his feet. Here's Doué. Tries to get past Kerkez, who stands up to him, but Doué still wins it back, and then Doué is penalised. Free kick. Kerkez takes it quickly. Atletico Madrid have gone 2-0 up against the 10 men of Barcelona at the Camp Nou. You feel that they're in control there, aren't they, Athletic? What a result that would be. 2-0 up. Alexandre Sorloth, big striker, has just made it 2-0. 5 attempts on target from Paris Saint-Germain, 11 in total at goal. 3 attempts for Liverpool, nothing on target as yet. Here's Vitinha to Dembele, back to Pacho, all the way back to Mendes, the left back position. Plays it past Wirtz. Neves to Vitinha. Now Makinos wide to Hakimi. Dembele decided to play as a holding midfielder now rather than a centre forward that he should be, but he's never up there. Here's Zaire Emery. He's got a free ticket really, hasn't he? Here's Vitinha. Out wide to Doué and back to Mendes, and feel that if Paris Saint-Germain can find another goal in the next 15 minutes or so, it's as good as game over. There was a run by Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha's capable of finding him, but didn't. It's Dembele wide to Neves, who's come out to the right-hand side to try his luck. Vitinha again. And, Nuno Mendes, I should say. Vitinha. It's the feet of Zaire Emery. Doué, Vitinha, Zaire Emery, sidestepping the mark, and Doué whips his way forward. He bumps into a third Liverpool player, having beaten two, and he's giving it away to Wirtz, and Wirtz now can run forward. Kvaratskhelia trying to keep up with him. This is Ekitike, cuts inside, but he can't get past Pacho, and Mendes brings it away for Paris Saint-Germain. Well, they did lose 3-0 to Chelsea in the final of the Club World Cup. It can be got up. Here's Dembele, and into Doué. His shot is blocked by Konate. Goes as far as Vitinha on the left-hand side. Wide by Neves to Kvaratskhelia, who cuts inside again. Outside the penalty area, lifts it to the right-hand side, and Neves quickly into the feet of Dembele. Takes on Kirkes. Low ball into the box. It's just about smuggled away by the Liverpool defence and by Gravenberch, but it's going to come back at them again here, Liverpool. They've got 14 minutes to hold Paris Saint-Germain at bay. Here's Hakimi to Dembele, who hits his stride and up towards the penalty area. Good challenge on him by McAllister. But Liverpool haven't got answers to what Paris Saint-Germain are throwing at the English side at an all too frequent rate of knots. Well, we've got under 14 minutes to go. Neither side has made a change yet. No sign of Salah or Isak or Gakpo, but there is going to be a change for Paris Saint-Germain, and they're going to take off Desiree Doué, and the man that comes on is going to be Lee Kang-Ying, and he is Mr. Reliable. He'll just sit on the right-hand side, and he's another player that just does his job to say it's a great affection. And Doué off, and gets an embrace from Luis Enrique. Liverpool going to make 3 changes. The first off is Kirkes. He's replaced by Robertson. Kirkes off. And then the next off is Florian Wirtz. Gakpo and Isak coming on. So Gakpo coming on down the left-hand side, and Isak is on as well. His first match for Liverpool since breaking his leg away at Tottenham Hotspur on December the 20th. Almost 4 months out, he is back. But here come Paris Saint-Germain. It's Kvaratskhelia, cuts inside, lifts it to the far post. Vitinha chests it down, then he stabs it back. This is Dembele, couldn't control it. And Liverpool are able to get the ball clear through Curtis Jones, who is a 4th Liverpool player that's just come into the fold. Just trying to get an update of who Curtis Jones and Isak come on for. We're so busy writing everyone's names down, never actually got the full memo. So I'll update you on that one in a second or two. In the meantime, here come Paris Saint-Germain. Kinos slightly behind Zaire Emery. Kinos, don't think he's put too many passes wrong tonight. It's been exceptional. It just streaks ahead of Liverpool, unfortunately, Paris Saint-Germain in every detail. They are a class outfit. And can you see them going to Liverpool? They're going to have a really bad day. And they're not having too many bad days at the moment, Paris Saint-Germain. That's the trouble for Liverpool. It just stays 2-0. Liverpool got to get a nice early goal there. Anfield has got to be rocking. Well, it always is, isn't it? That's a gimme. Quite what Liverpool side turns up, who knows? But we know that Anfield will be rocking in 6 days' time. It's played out wide to Kvaratskhelia. He can have a little run. Frimpong pulls it back to Dembele. It's with Vitinha. Zaire-Emery. Hakimi. Dembele's turn. They've got everyone behind the ball, Liverpool, but they need a goal, really. Here's Lee Kang-in. Dembele again. What a ball that would have been. Cut out by Joe Gomez just as well, because Hakimi was in otherwise. Now, Makinos. Nicely done. Pacho. Vitinha. 9.5 to go. Paris Saint-Germain 2, Liverpool 0. Kvaratskhelia back to the halfway line. And Mendes neatly inside to Vitinha, who pirouettes, sends it to this near side. Still 70% Paris Saint-Germain possession. 5 shots on target to Liverpool's none. Atletico Madrid leading at the Camp Nou 2-0 tonight against the 10 men of Barcelona. Kabasi sent off just before half-time for Barca. We've got it all to do in the second leg. And an epic semi-final in the... was it the semi-final of the Copa del Rey? Kvaratskhelia, he's got time and space. Couldn't believe it, really. He's standing in his own half. He's got so much time. He's played it with the outside of the right boot. And off goes Mendes into the penalty area. Nuno Mendes pulls it back. It's too heavy for everyone. Comes all the way back out to Zaire-Emery. Now it's with Dembele again. Dembele, it's Hakimi. It's a good save. It's Dembele. He's got all the time in the world. And it's been blocked by Andy Robertson behind for a corner. And Liverpool hanging on grimly. Well, he pulls it back. I think the ball might have just gone out of play, actually, from Mendes. Had it gone in from Hakimi, maybe it might have been ruled out for VAR. Was it over the line 100%? Well, maybe not. Szoboszlai and Ekitike, by the way, were the 2 players that went off that 4-man change for Liverpool. In towards Kvaratskhelia from Lee Kang-in, and he heads it wide from the corner. And a goal kick. So Kirkers, Wirtz, Ekitike and Szoboszlai all off for Liverpool. They all sit there. Puzzled looks on their face. They have been absolutely non-ragged tonight. And 2-0 is the scoreline that they've got away lightly. They have got away lightly. The first half chance that went the way of Frimpong. Fired it across the face of goal. It's only just wide. It's a good effort. It's as close as they've got. Apart from that, not much. A couple of balls into the box. Of course, a little bit of panic at the back for PSG, but their clean sheet has been rather comfortable most of the evening. 83 and a bit minutes gone. And there's only really one winner here at the moment. But if Liverpool could get a goal between now and the end of the game, like they did in this fixture last season in the round of 16 first leg, it changes everything. But you still fancy PSG to go to Anfield and put in a performance where they could, well, easily win the game. The pressure is on Liverpool to come out and get the first goal. If Paris Saint-Germain get it, you could think it's game over. But there's still 6 minutes to play here. Well, they've made 4 changes, Liverpool, and they've left 2 players, Gomez and McAllister, on the pitch. They're the 2 with the yellow cards. McAllister's now picked up a knock from the challenge from Vitinha. Here is Vitinha. It's Hakimi, pushes it from the extreme right to right over on the left-hand side, and Mendes. Down the line to Dembele, who turns and sprints up to the halfway line. Gets it wide to Kvaratskhelia, who has a run at Frimpong. Kvaratskhelia into the box, weaving his way through. Cleared away by Van Dijk. And Frimpong should get there ahead of Kvaratskhelia, and then goes down, rather likely to win a free kick. So a free kick to Liverpool. And at the moment, their number one priority is not to concede any more. 2-0 is a big ask, but it's not impossible. They've had much bigger tasks that they've overcome down the years, Liverpool, in European football. But the semi-final is beginning to look like it could be Arsenal against Athletic, and it could be Paris Saint-Germain against Bayern Munich, which would have made a fantastic final in my opinion. They are the two form sides at the moment. Everyone's talking about Arsenal finishing high up in the table. Well, Mo Salah doesn't look like he's going to get on. They made those 4 changes, Liverpool, and Mo Salah wasn't one of them. Well, he's leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. This could well be the last hurrah in the Champions League. Maybe they're saving him for the second leg. Who knows? So a long throw for Liverpool. Joe Gomez takes it. It's a bit of an Exocet missile, those long throws, but first header from Mendes and cleared away by Kvaratskhelia, and the bounce eludes Szoboszlai, and now there's a chance here for Paris Saint-Germain, and Dembele, who finds Ye Kang Ying, who sends it wide to Dembele, who smacks it against the post, and that was close to a third, and Liverpool got away with one there. A brutal counter-attack from the Parisians, and when he gathers it here, Lee Kang Ying, he just rolls it into Dembele and slaps it against the post. So unlucky. Well, the goalkeeper was beaten, that's for sure. Well, that's a let-off for Liverpool. It might be just what they need, as change is about to be made. It looks as though they're going to take off Dembele, and they're going to bring into the game Lucas Hernandez. Started here against Toulouse on Friday. Former Bayern Munich player, could be playing against his former club in the semi-final. He'll go in just to keep the clean sheet at the back. They know Liverpool scored a late goal here last season. It will change the complexion of this tie if Liverpool were to score. But really, Paris Saint-Germain have had enough chances to win this one by a lot more than 2. There was another chance. Van Dijk, forward by Robertson. This is Isak, still not obviously match fit, having just stepped onto the pitch for the first time in almost 4 months. Athletic still 2-0 up in the Camp Nou. As the Champions League begins to hot up. Hakimi to Kvaratskhelia, to Hakimi, to Kvaratskhelia, and over the top, and Hakimi is away. Hakimi into the box, can he make it 3? He squares it, it's a golden opportunity, and he's fluffed his lines. What a chance for Mendes. The 2 fullbacks are the furthest 2 players forward for Paris Saint-Germain. That's just how pragmatic they are. You talk about attacking fullbacks, and they've got 2 of the best in the world. And there they are, through on the defence. And here's Hakimi's shot, which is blocked. It comes to Lee Kang Ying. Now Vitinha. Just over a minute of the 90 to go. João Neves brings in Hernandez. Well, I say that, but Hernandez has gone in at left back, and you know, Mendes has gone forward. Kvaratskhelia pretty much gone down the middle. Lee Kang Ying. Liverpool, well, don't look like they're going to get that goal. They don't look like they're going to get that opportunity to make something of this tie. A minute of normal time remaining. Hakimi was so unselfish there to square it to Mendes, and he made a right mess of it. He's got into the box, Hakimi, just played it into Mendes. He's cut across the goalkeeper, and then he's just bobbled up and hit him on the shin. Attack over. Gakpo. What did Liverpool do to try and put pressure on in the second leg? That's the big question. They're going to make another change in a moment. Trey Nyoni is going to come on, the young 18-year-old academy product, previously with Leicester City. He's going to come on for Frimpong. On comes Nyoni. 3 minutes of added time. We're just moving into that, and Paris Saint-Germain on the verge of taking a healthy advantage back to Anfield. Liverpool could really do with a goal. But if they do get one, it would be, I have to be honest, a miscarriage of justice. A little bit like the 1-0 win they had here last year when Paris Saint-Germain were equally, if not even more dominant that night, and lost 1-0. And here goes Mendes, touch and go. And he's away, and Konaté's not going to get anywhere near it. Mendes was shoved in the back now. What's the referee going to give? Nothing. Well, that could easily have been a penalty. Well, the lack of pace from Ibrahima Konaté, himself a Parisian, was there for all to see. But the nudge wasn't sufficient. Now that's got to be a penalty. I wonder if VAR are looking at that, because that is just a deliberate push into the rib cage of the player, which puts him off. And I think VAR are pointing this out to the referee at the moment. There is a potential penalty check. For me, that has got to be a penalty. Konaté has been stripped bare, and check is over. No penalty. Wow. I wasn't sure about the one that got overturned earlier, but that one, for me, was cast iron. He's pushed the player, pushed him off of the balance, and as a result, he's not got the shot in. On reflection, Mendes should have just gone down without trying to get the shot away. Then he would have been a penalty. What on earth was Ibrahima Konaté doing? He was all over the shot there, and his pace, lack of, was cruelly exposed. Cruelly exposed. Well, we're into the final minute of added time. Liverpool got the ball inside the opposition half. It's Curtis Jones, forward to Gravenberch. In towards Jones again, trying to make room, but Paris Saint-Germain can get it clear. Robertson has to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Mavarashvili. Comes out of his box and rolls it up to the halfway line. It's now or never for Liverpool. Forward by by Konaté rather. Now it's a run by Gravenberch, who's brought down on the edge of the penalty area. Referee again doesn't want to give anything. And it's beginning to look like Saint-Germain are going to take a 2-goal lead into that second leg at Anfield in 6 days' time. Safonov gathers a long ball on the edge of his penalty area, and there goes the final whistle. And Luis Enrique, who knows how to win this competition, has a healthy advantage to take back to Anfield in 6 days' time. PSG dominant. Goals from their two wide men. The first after 11 minutes by Desiree Doué. The second from Kavica Kvaratskhelia. It could have been a whole load more. If Liverpool would have come away from here 5 or 6-0, they would have had no complaints. But it's been solid from Paris Saint-Germain. You can't see them giving up a 2-0 lead at Anfield, but funnier things have happened in football, and Anfield is the place for a mission impossible in 6 days' time. You just never know, Anfield, do you? The record is there. We'll see. But it's PSG that win the first leg, and they win it comfortably by 2-0. Thank you for your company this evening. You have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you all again soon.